I am Felicia.
And I'm Giancarlo.
And this is our review of...
The Spoils.
The Spoils.
In The Spoils, players take on control of a faction to gain supremacy. In the storage box you'll get 5 exclusive foil resources, 5 semi-random foil cards, an instruction sheet with a glossary, and 5 39-card decks for 5 faction. Each player will choose a faction and place their faction card in front of them. Each player will start with resources in their play area as denoted by the starting resources on their faction cards. Determine who the first player is, and he'll draw cards according to what the faction card states. Bring your opponent's faction to 0 and you win the spoils.
Before the game starts, each player may choose any number of cards and place them face down under their deck and draw that many more from the top of their deck. This is called a mulligan and can only be done once. A player's turn consists of 3 phases, each with their own steps. Start of turn, turn, and end of turn. At the start of your turn, all damage inflicted on your characters is reset to 0. All cards become ready, and on each of your turn, you must decide whether you want to play a resource or draw a card. Since this is your first turn, there are no characters and your cards are already ready. We'll go to the third step, play a resource or draw a card. To play a resource, simply take one from your hand and place it face up in your playing field. There are 5 types of staple resources and they are Obsession, Greed, Elitism, Deception, and Rage. If you don't have any, you can play any card face down, and this will give you a generic or volition type resource. If you want to play a card, you need to pay its cost. You'll find this on the upper left corner. This will be denoted by certain icons under the generic number, and you'll have to use one staple resource of that icon for each one on the card in addition to the generic cost. Besides that, some cards will have another requirement on when to play it in a turn, and you can find these in the text under the cost section.
So let's take a look at some of various types of cards. You already know about the staple resource cards and your faction card. Others include items, location, characters, and tactics. Characters will make up the troops in your battle parties. They have values for strength, life, and speed, which we'll explain later on during the battle section. Items come into play and usually can be used by characters at some specific time denoted on the card. Location stays in play as well, but these will have life points of their own denoted on the top right corner of the card. And when attacking, the player must announce if he attacks the faction card or the location. If ever the health of a location reaches 0, the owner must place that card in his discard. Unlike characters, damage on locations do not reset to 0 at the beginning of the turn. Now all these cards must be played on their active player's turn, except for tactics that can be played at specific times written in its text, including opponent's turns. These are like responses you can choose to make, and furthermore, a player may play tactic in response to another tactic.
Let's take a look at battle. First, the active player announces what he wants to attack, location or faction. Then he chooses one or more of his ready characters to form his battle party. He will deplete these characters by rotating them 90 degrees. Now the opponent can choose one or more ready character to form the blocking party. Now resolution of battle happens. First, form a speed group. Take each character with the highest speed that has not yet assigned damage. All attacking characters of that speed assign the total of their damage to the blocking party. The attacking player chooses how this damage is distributed. Then all blockers of that speed do the same to the attacking party, with the defender choosing how to distribute its damage. Damage resolves and any card that receives damage equal to its health or higher dies and is discarded in their owner's discard pile. Then repeat the process with the second highest speed value and so on until all characters have acted this way. Now it's important to note that you can launch as many attacks as you want as you have ready characters. So there isn't just one attack phase as in most other trading card games. Once you've finished your turn, play passes to your opponent, which will ready his characters. Detach resources from his faction, which he used to pay, ready those resources, and play repeats. Reduce your opponent's faction to 0, and you'll win the spoils.
The spoils is hardly being scratched in our review of it. Being a TCG that has been out for many years already, it has vast history which is enriched by its very quirky, bizarre, and sometimes adult artwork. Include many different abilities that would be impossible for us to cover all in our review, and you have endless possibilities of gameplay styles that is expected in any TCG genre. My problem with this though is that these abilities and types of cards with their different names can easily be interchangeable with, quite frankly, its more popular competitor, Magic the Gathering. Convert is flying, speed difference is first strike or double strike, locations are enchantments with hit points, items are equipments or artifacts, tactics are instants and sorceries, depleted is tapped, you get the point. The many attack phase is different from Magic the Gathering, but similar to World of Warcraft TCG, as is the playing of any card face down as a resource. And that's exactly what the spoil feels to me. A combination of Magic the Gathering meets World of Warcraft. WoW has since been discontinued, but is it enough for the spoils to find its place in a TCG world? The great thing about it is that they do have a following, and more importantly, they have a community where players' feedback are taken into account. And with good quality cards, storage box, and ingenious ways of putting promotional cards out there, like in random packs of Dragon Shield sleeves, new players wanting a different TCG might want to try this. Now they would have to do this because they are competing against not only a competitive market being TCGs, but the biggest name in that market as well, Wizards of the Coast. And I think that it'd be great if they had more differences than just unlimited attack phases and placing a card face down for resource. As it stands now, why would anyone go with the spoils when they could go with Magic, where cards keep their value and is a sure bet? You might find it unfair that we do compare it to Magic, but reality is it's not different enough for us not to compare it to it. There are many TCGs out there that have completely different gameplay with new mechanics. Cardfight Vanguard is one of them. Even their staple resources are similar, and of course the same number as well, 5 of them, like Magic the Gatherings. Come on guys, something new would have been appreciated. Maybe this offered a little bit more of a substantial difference back in the days, but with advancement in other TCGs, I just don't see it here. The spoil gets 5 unoriginal cards out of 10.
I'm a little brat. I'm gonna have to spank me.
Is this really happening right now? Okay, I guess so. Oh my god, you're wearing Calvin Klein underwear?
Yeah.
Where did you buy them?
What?
Your underwear. No, I've been looking for them everywhere. They don't make them for girls anymore, like thick elastic. It has the pee-pee
We'll
hole.
go shopping for you. Let's go back to like important matters.
Yes.
We could go underwear shopping together if you want. You could try them on and I'll let you know if they're good or not.
We could. I have another question.
Does that mean we will?
The flaming cube. No?
Yeah, I like it. I do more. Here, do this one. Hold on. Let's find your card. Blow up. I swear to God, I just took this one and it's blow up. You see? It's not me, just life circumstances.